Hi everyone, you're watching Jan FX, and in this video I'm going to make technical analysis for the coming week. And let's start with euro dollar. So let's see what is happening and what possibly expect from the pair this week. So as you can see, for a while it's been in the channel, so it's still consolidating, and this week nothing happened again. So even the news didn't make a major impact, didn't influence the pair, and unfortunately it didn't come out from the channel. So all these levels you see, these are all important support and resistance levels, and we were waiting for the pair to come out from that range. So unfortunately it didn't happen this week. So as we can see on the main picture, the weekly chart, the market is kinda in the uptrend channel on the bigger picture, and it's getting very close to another important level. The market's been here already before, so of course at that point there is a possibility of movement actually either direction. So it's either can continue its way and reach that level finally, and at the same time it might turn around and fall, because from the previous weeks we have a still open gap which was not closed. You can see here, so we still have it. So I would expect at some point for the market to come back around this area. So all these different things affect really the market, and that's why we can see for weeks now it can't pick the direction. So yes, it had a good move up, but at this moment it struggled to continue the trend, or actually change it. So we can see that it's back inside the channel. It didn't even try to break that level, which kind of gives an idea that possibly it wants to continue the uptrend, but there is still not enough strength on the market to continue the uptrend. So for the next week, again, always remember we need some fuel for the market to move in one or the other direction, and we don't have this power. So there would be news, of course, which will make it move, but at this moment you can see that it's not moving anywhere. So just need to be careful, follow the news, any influence, political news, financial news, economical news, everything for, of course, Eurozone in America would be influencing the market. So it can, as you can see from even this week, that it could be not very strong movements, but from the previous years we know there could be strong movements. So at this moment it's very hard condition, I would say, in the market when it's not giving the good moves and doesn't react properly on the news. So what I would be looking for this week, as I'm saying, I would expect, again, if there is nothing will be coming, no influence by any news, I would see it continuing this trend until, of course, there is something will come out finally and will make move the pair. So I would be looking for either market to stay around this area possibly, so looking for small consolidation. So it's possible to trade inside the range, but at the same time it could be quite difficult, because it could be just small movements. For example, you see it can stay in the middle like it was doing before, and then could move like we had in influenced by the news, then it's had a little stop over here and then drop down, had a little bit of consolidation, drop down again. So you can see there are some small movements are happening, but it could be just well, depends, would you risk it to go for such small trades, go pick up just little small profits and protect yourself with trailing stops or stops and move in a safe positions, because as you would see during a few weeks euro dollar was just moving in the same range and not making big movements at all. So if for example Monday opening, maybe Tuesday, depends if there will be some news or anything, so I would expect, let's say, quiet creation of some nice channels, something like that, similar, some little channels like this. So for better view, of course, go for 15 minutes, better looking channels. If it will create something around this area, I would be possibly placing the orders, sell order from this level, so either that level or that level. It depends how it will go. Will it continue around that level? Maybe it will break it a little bit and continue around this little level, so continue its channel movement, and placing the buy order, if it will create something like that around the series, or the placing buy order, expecting it to move here. So I will be protecting myself, looking what's going to happen around this area. Possible it might move down from that area, maybe it will be trying to break it. As I'm saying, it all depends, is anything influential is going to be next week. So at this moment it's very hard to say what is going to move the pair. So that's why I would be looking for something else. If, for example, market would continue slowly with the Monday movements of opening the market, moving on Monday, it might reach this level. Maybe it will stay in the middle like here. So that's what I will be looking again for, any consolidations like that, and I will be placing the orders both directions. As I'm saying, at this point, it's a possibility to go anyway. So that's how I see euro dollar for the new coming week. Now we're going to pound dollar, and again also this week we can see it just slow a little bit of up movement, and it's all around one of the important levels, which also comes from previous trades. We saw this is where we had stopping points, so this is our support level, resistance level, so it's turning into support resistance level by the look of the movements. So it's either stops above it or below it. So that's why it's quite important one, and we can see again that the market is not moving too far. This week it was all the moving around this area, and we have a gap from the previous week, which is why I would expect. So if we would look on the daily chart, you can see it's in the downtrend channel, so, and I would expect it possibly to continue that little up movements inside the downtrend channel, close the gap which was around here on a smaller chart. Now it's a daily one, and possibly continue the downtrend again, so possibly to go down. So at that point I would look for it's to move and close the gap, and depends how it would move again, open the market Monday. If it will go around this area and possibly go and close the gap, then I would be looking for the consolidation. So at that point, for example, right here, I wouldn't go for any trades. I would just wait for a little bit longer for a bit better movements, because this moment I can't see to go for any possible trades. Yes, it could possibly go very slow just around this area and just maybe create a nice channel, but if we would see the previous week, you can see it was going down, up, down, up. So for me, I would think it's possibly maybe better just wait for a bit more confirmations than to risk it. Yes, there is also the opportunities to trade those small movements, and I'm not sure if I will be going for those trades. As I'm saying, I would prefer to see it continue that to continue, possibly, like you can see, I could draw this little level. So if it will go like on the 4-hour chart, so it also looks like we had a drop, and this looks like a flag pattern, and the flag usually like in this type in a downtrend channel, then of course you'd expect it's going moving and then it's break. It's quite a wide range, that's why, as I'm saying, it could possibly, if it will go there, of course it would be narrowing, so I would be able to draw for example something like that. So it depends how it would go, right? And then I would be looking to for sell orders from that level. So you can see that level, if it will go something like that, so I'll be looking to sell and trying to catch the movement if it will be around there, maybe a little bit higher too. But you see, it's quite good could be to that level and possibly continue to the downtrend. So, but it's just a little bit further, not just exactly for this specific week. So we'll be looking for, as I'm saying, for a bit movement, trying to close that gap first. So that's how I see it. But again, as I'm saying, this is what the market, this is what the chart shows. Technically, it shows that yes, it might continue, but as I'm saying again, of course, it's possible that it can just stay around here and then drop again, because it all depends what the news are coming. Market can react on anything at this moment. We are waiting for any news coming from England, from US, political, economical, financial. So it's for all the pairs, all the same. Just you need to watch and follow the news. But technically, that's how I will be looking for the news for the new coming week. Okay, so going to Australian dollar, and with Australian dollar for this week, the expectation was, as it was in that little range in the channel, and the expectation was for it to break that channel and continue the downtrend, because on a bigger chart it is more looking like a triangle. As you can see, that was a triangle, but as we know that quite often the market can come out from the triangle into something, a channel, right, for flat channel again. So it's quite possible, as it didn't want to continue that downtrend and touch the one of the bottom levels of that triangle, so quite possible now I can see it can continue go as a side, so as a channel. So I will try to show it. Might show this week. So here we have, you can see a lot of wings. This is what also shows that the market was not sure about where to move. So we have all these jumps, and if we would draw, for example, ignore that level, which originally would look like a triangle. So if it's possible, turning into a channel. So you see, this is the top of the channel would be, and that's what I can expect, that the market can continue go to that level, to that channel. You see, we have about 160 pips from where it is now, about 100, 150, 140. So this is the possibility I can see. For that, of course, we would have to wait and see, will it actually continue, so will it actually finally will break that level, because we can see that first attempt it was went down, was not successful, in the second attempt, and now it's the third attempt. So it's trying to break through. We still have that level from the triangle, you can see, and it's still not at the tops of the previous. You see these little two wings. So of course it's possible it might move a little bit further and then turn around. So it's quite possible. We still have also these levels. They're also from the previous trades, they're important ones. So what I see for the next week possibility, this is what you see, just as I was explaining, and explain again, this is how the news affects the movements, affects the market. So technically you see one thing, but with the news it's all changing. So, and that's what I'm saying, if of course it will be again some news for now for Australian dollar, for America. So, and there are some also influences for Australian dollar. There is something to do with economy in China. When the Chinese, some news come, and they also influencing the pair. Also the gold price is influencing the pair. So there are a few different things can influence it. So in this, let's say, respect of the technical analysis, so what I would be looking for the market at this point, as it didn't slow down properly around this area, I would have, for me, would be more safer, let's say, if it would create some consolidation in here, just like it did here. When it was here, as I was saying, I would be, I was looking for placing the trades both directions, hoping that it will go down, because we still have a triangle level around here, but at the same time it's been consolidating for a while. Also news coming, that's what I was looking for, placing the trades both directions. This is one of the strategies you can use also to buy, place the orders, buy and sell from the consolidations when the market slows down, and preparing for the next big move. So that's why for me, I would stay away for now and see what is going to happen around this area. Will it actually break? So right now we have the little candle which is starting to form, and yes, one candle broke the old both levels, and we'll see where it will continue next. So if it will let's say continue go with the market opening, see what's going to happen, what's on Monday is going to happen. We'll be watching days, so I would be seeing that would they reach that area. So as the main entry point would have been for that movement, let's say around here. The next I would have been looking if it would have some consolidation around this area, but it didn't. It's continued its way. So now I would be looking for it to continue to go wherever, anywhere around these areas. So it would be placing later that level, if it will continue higher than that level on Monday opening, on Sunday opening and Monday movement. So I will be waiting then for it to continue, and then I will be looking for to sell, for the sell orders. So that's how I will be looking at. If it will not continue the way opening the market on Monday, if it will be consolidating around this area, for example, if it will not have that sharp movement and would create something really nice around here, something again, something like that, consolidation, then I will be looking for both directions orders, for buy and sell, because it's a good opportunity. As you saw, I showed you it's about 150 pips, it might still go up, and of course it's a good opportunity to continue to go down and create one of the triangles bottoms. That's why, as I'm saying, I would be, in that respect, I would be looking for both orders. So if it's not going sharp, and also with the opening, if for example it might have a sharp drop and create something around this area, again would stay and slow down around this area, then I will be also looking for buy orders and sell orders around this area. So this is how I'm looking for the next week for Australian dollar. Now we're going to dollar yen, and here we can see it was in a downtrend channel, so it was in a channel, and but previously we had also here consolidation area, and with the news events you can see how the news affected it. First it's dropped, and then it's turned around, and now we can see it's back inside the previous channel, the channel from the previous weeks. So it does look like it's getting inside it. So with all these little bottoms, now I can move that. It does look like it's come out from downtrend channel right here. I still see it's in the downtrend channel, so I can use those bottoms and move it now a little bit like that. So you can see a little bit something that, and this is why you can see possibly this is why it was stopped. Yes, we had a channel here, and we have now a new one, so it still does look like, yes, it did move, had a bit of the move, possibly there's some news reaction, and but still in a downtrend channel. So what I will be looking at now is to see, again, it's a waiting time to see will it continue in the downtrend channel, so possibly it would turn around and go down, or it is actually trying to break and go up. So we have important levels, and here you can see it's stuck right now at this moment. It's stopped by that little level, so I would expect for a small consolidation. I will be waiting for a small consolidation around this area, so either that area with that level I just draw now, maybe this one. So something between those ones, and depends where it will be concentrating, maybe around this level, maybe around that. I will be also placing the orders to buy and sell, pending orders for both going up or continue going down, because this is what it looks like for me at that point. So yes, it is in a downtrend channel, but we always know that with the Forex it can go any directions. If there are any news, there is something market picks up, it can change the direction and go anyway. So that's why at that point I can see that it can go again anyway, waiting for consolidation. It's a good point that it's actually come back and it's again inside the same channel. So been using this channel previously before for to catching up some trades, and now we'll be using that again for getting catching up some good trades too. So if we'll go and have a look on the daily chart, you can see that's what it looks like. It's in the downtrend channel. So yes, it's a possibility it will continue the downtrend, but at the same time, as I'm saying, it's Forex. It can also will be trying to break. So why it possibly could be breaking the trend and trying to go up is because if you would look, I will not be drawing it right now because it's at this moment it's a little bit too early, but we have one bottom and we have the other, and this bottom is lower and that one is a little bit higher, as you can see. So slightly like that. That's like a first kind of signs of that it's possibly it's changing the direction again, right? So it might possibly starting to go in uptrend. So at that moment it's pretty early to say, but yes, it gives a bit of the bell, a little bit for me. That's how I see it. So but at this moment we have that area, and that's why I'm just waiting for, maybe it will stay a little bit here, and as I'm saying, it can either go up or go down, and using the strategy buy and sell pending orders. Don't forget, if you trade with of course money management and placing the trailing stops or protecting yourself if the market moves to be your direction, and you can move stop always to a safe position. So but this is what I will be doing, and this is what I see. So we have the levels. Okay, now we're going to dollar CAD, and dollar CAD is also, let's go and look at the bigger view. We have, you see that big uptrend channel, a very long and very big one daily. At the same time, we have inside that uptrend channel, we have a downtrend channel that really had a downtrend. And we had a previous week, that's what it was looking like, changing the direction. That is also important level. You can see this is why it's been sitting around this area for a little bit, and finally it's broke. So this is the reaction was on oil prices. So that's what influencing for also dollar CAD. You can see how it's also not just for the currency, like for just political or economical news. Also, you see oil prices changing, can move the pair. And so if it was sitting nicely here, then it's broke all the levels and come back into our downtrend channel. So these levels at that point, for example, I can remove this, is just to show you how the market changing the directions based on the news events, right, on the different factors which could influence. So what is happening right now, it was stopped by this important level, but it's right now you can see it's breaking a little bit. Of course, when we do have those levels, it's always plus minus. When it's getting so close to one of the important levels, you have to take and bear in mind all the wings you had. So you see everywhere where you have the little wings, that can indicate that market still can, again, it might break a little bit and still not changing the direction, not fully breaking it. So it would be a full break. And for longer, for example, trades, if you go for weeks, months, you would wait for a little bit more confirmations, more breaking. Like you can see here, when it was just a wing, you know, it didn't break the level, right? So you would look for one candle breaking and the next candle go down. So that would be a bit more of the indication that the market broke the level. But if you're trading on a smaller charts, then you can go for small trades, of course, and again waiting for some sorts of consolidations, not to go into trades without thinking. So we can see on the smaller charts it's been around this area, and also on the smaller chart it did break a little bit, but didn't go too far just yet. So again, by just looking at the channel, it does have an idea that possibility of continuing a downtrend. But because we do have a downtrend, of course, after a good huge moves, we usually have some correction or some consolidations, just like you saw it previously, right? Drop, bit correction, drop, correction, drop, correction, drop, bit of bigger correction, bit drop again, drop, and now I would expect, of course, possibly will not continue straight away, but with more. If looking technically, of course, more would be looking to have a bit of a correction, possibly a correction, or maybe just slowing down and moving around this area before it will choose the direction. So again, dollar CAD in the position when it was here is all expected is continued down until the main important level. Where it's had a consolidation and couldn't go again any direction, but it's continued the way down. Right now, it's also could possibly consolidate and continue the way down, or it could consolidate and turn around again, right? Again, back to possibly that level, or continue down to inside the channel, or break it and get to the next level. Which are also all important levels. So what I would be looking for, I would be waiting for that confirmation more. Yes, of course, I might miss a good move, but it's also missing a good move. It's possible missing a bad move at the same time, right? So you can. It all depends what risks you prefer to take. So I would be waiting for some consolidation. Maybe it will create like flag around here, so maybe it will create here a bit of a triangle, but that's what would be my next movement, just waiting for creation of something around this area and placing the orders both directions, placing the buy and sell orders. So that's what that's how I look at it. You can see, because at this moment it doesn't give us anything, so there is nothing it does. So possibility continue go up, and then as I'm saying, it's possible to trade as a small trades, but it's quite risky. For example, if we're expecting is going up expectation, so we can wait, for example, for breaking, depends how it opens market Monday, for example, breaking that, so it might move a bit higher. So it could be, depends, like about 40-50 pips, you can see. Then it can turn around. Also possibility, for example, to use the bottoms, again depends how it will be on Monday, and place the sell orders already and wait for it to continue. So it's all possible to trade like this. It's more riskier. It depends, as I'm saying. I'm not talking much about these types, but it's all possible to do this way. Again, it could just sit in here a little bit, and then possibility if it would create like a channel around here again, right? Something similar, like for example this beautiful channel. Yes, quite possible it might create a little channel, and then it's possible from that channel to place orders buy and place orders sell, because it's in the middle, and it still has quite good, you see 90 pips up and about 80, maybe a little bit low, 90 pips down. So it's somewhere in the middle. As I'm saying, if it would create a nice channel, it's possible to place orders in both directions. So yes, it is. For example, place orders buy, it goes there. You place your, again, protect yourself from if it turns around, you come out with some profit, it will close you, and maybe it will create something nice here. You close with profit, and you will place again buy and sell pending orders. It all depends. So this is how I see it for this week. Waiting either to possibly maybe continue straight away to go to the level, create some consolidation, or maybe, of course, it's also possible it can continue slow, yes, breaking the main level of the uptrend channel, but continue going down to this one. So it can be something like that. But as I'm saying, as for me, I'm waiting for consolidation. So that's with dollar CAD. Going to euro pound, and okay, let's have a look at the daily chart. As you can see, it's been in uptrend. Let's say uptrend, and been stopped by one of the important levels. So it's been here before, slightly didn't reach it, did a bit come out, actually broke in here, and back again to this area. So see, it didn't have enough strength to break it, it's turned around. So what's now? It's still in here. I could draw that level and it still sits it and it didn't break it. So of course the first thing would be it's been going up for a while, so yes, it could be time for it to finally now to break for a good drop. But at the same time, as I'm saying, any news for euro, for pound, it can continue go up, and we have next level, right? So it might continue that way. So as I'm saying again, in here, the same kind of situation can go any directions. Even though we have a good still, right? With technical analysis, it still more look like it should take. It should change the direction. It should now to go down, especially here in the 4-hour chart would be better view. We have a good pattern. It's shoulder, it's head, and it's another shoulder. So head and shoulders, and we have a neck area, and it's important level. It didn't break. It's all got underneath. It's went down, and but suddenly it's turned around. So yes, it does look like a nice pattern, but with the patterns, if you don't know, it's not always go the whole way the previous move. So we had a sharp jump, then there was the creation of the pattern. You usually expect it to go down exactly to the same length of the previous move, but it's not always that way. Sometimes it only goes halfway. Yes, patterns are very good, but as I'm saying, at this moment with the situation in the market picks up some news and it ignores the other news, which in like previous years it's been all the way around. So these days it's very difficult, and even with patterns you can see, like in here, yes, it did create a good pattern, and with technical analysis it's all shows us that it should have continued the way, but no, it was stopped. And well, obviously where it would stop, you could have see if you would have been in a trade by just drawing that level using these two bottoms, and then you could see where roughly it could stop. This is what I'm talking about. You could roughly know where it's going to stop. So when it's broke, you could have just protect yourself and place, for example, stop around this area, so where you would go into the trade, depends where you go in trade. So you would have come out with maybe some profit, like close some positions here, and then hope that it will continue the trend and you will be still in a trade. But no, you see, if it turns around, you are still coming out with either small profit again, depends where you put your trailing stop, or you come out with nothing at all. So that's why it's quite important still to watch really the market during the week, and if you are in a trade, so it's better to watch and get yourself into the safe position first before you can, for example, walk away. So what is it now is going to do? As we can see that euro and pound are also not really picking up the direction at this point. Possible if it will go with pound going a little bit high, as we saw, trying to close the gap, then of course it could be a possibility that it might break that level and drop, so that euro would be a bit weaker this week. But euro is quite flat at this moment, that's why it's quite hard to say. It's possible it might also be a bit flat, maybe around here, and would be trying afterwards finally to break that level and go back inside this area and possibly sit in around that area a little bit, or it's possible could also break, will be trying to break that level, right? So the uptrend level. So what would be my action? For example, I would be waiting, as I'm saying again, how the market opens. I would see, well, right now, yes, it is behind underneath that level, so it's more like it's still in there, so it's still more likely it should continue the way down, but who knows. So I would be waiting time to see, will it consolidate anywhere around this area. So that would be my area to wait for some consolidation. So the closer it will get and no ring, it would be better. Would it do so? Not, maybe it will be as a channel. So these two levels would be important for me, and around this area. So I would be placing both directions orders. We still have, for example, if it will consolidate around this area, there is still you can see about, well, 40, maybe a little bit higher, 60 pips to get a little bit of the profit. I mean, it could be a little bit risky, as I'm saying. It's more looking more perspective of it turning around to drop, but at the same time it could possibly even ignore, for example, that level and just go. Depends on what the news are going. If there is anything influential is going to be there, like at this moment it's hard. There is nothing at this moment major expected, but it just can come and jump in the middle of the week. Anything can jump from nowhere, so that's why I would better to look for it, to be honest, to go a little bit higher. For the best for me would be if it would just get inside this area, and that would be a much stronger signal for me to place the orders, buy or sell. So that's how I would look at it. But at that point right now in here, of course, it would be better more looking into towards to sell, of course, at that point while it's here. And if it's like sits around here, it would be more towards to sell. But as I'm saying, at the same time, it can still come back, it still can jump inside. And what is it going to be, what's going to move it, it's very hard to say at that point. Just wait and see and wait for any news coming. And of course, it's getting summer now, and it could be a bit more difficult to trade in the summer days. It could be very slow days, could be some sharp movements because of the summer times. Okay, now going to gold, and with gold we had. Okay, let's go and have a look, a bigger view. So this is what we have. At one point, well, it's kind of in an uptrend channel we have, and at the same time you can see it's in a downtrend, right? So we have two trends. So, and yes, it's moving up here, and you can see we have that level from the previous weeks and even months. And right now we can see that the market was trying to break it, but again didn't have strength to break it. So that means that movement up, the possible uptrend could be a turning around. Now you see that the top didn't reach that area to make it a bit more of the likely as an uptrend. So it's stuck in here, and now it's more perspective. It should probably continue down and reach at least that level, and then all again depends. Will it be able to break it, or it could be possible again turning around? So that's all we will be seeing. So that's like the main picture at that point. So of course, in that respect, we would think, of course, that possibly it will continue the way down, right? But at the same time, who knows, can turn around. So that's why for looking for gold and dollar, it could be movements either direction, and you can see how it's not nicely starting to consolidate. So well, as it had a bit of the move, then of course the first thing could be, well, maybe possibly it will have a little bit of correction, right, to go up, but it's also can continue the way down. So as just I was said with the previous pairs, that after some movements we would usually have big movements, and then we would have either consolidation or correction. So this does look quite nice, and it is underneath the level. This is the previously, you can see, and it's kind of sits underneath here, closing this week, let's say. So yes, it gives a good chance that the possibility it would maybe create a bit of consolidation and continue its direction. So for me, for example, the ways I trade usually place in the both directions trades, and here I can see that it could be possibilities, as I'm saying, to place the orders for both directions, because we have good run 200 something pips up and about 300 pips down run. So, well, let's say kind of 50-50 slightly. So that's why I would be waiting for opening the market to see how it will open, if it's going to be sharp or not. Possibly waiting still, looking for Monday, and if it will be continue its pretty consolidation, then I will be able to draw the level here depends, right? It might be a little bit lower, might be a little bit high, depends, as I'm saying, how it's going to open, and placing the orders from those levels, slightly higher and slightly lower, placing the from the channel. So I can possibly leave it, but as I'm saying, need to see with opening, it could be slightly higher, slightly low. So I would place it a little bit like this, because at that point I can see now little bottom. So that's it. With gold is quite understandable. So possibility of consolidating and breaking any, moving any direction. So of course, well, as I'm saying, it just depends again if we will be having any news this week coming. So, but as I'm saying, even if there will be news or not news, it's good chance to catch one of the movements. And the gold moves can move quite fast, and so it's better again to watch the market to see where it's moving, and protect yourself with some stops. Okay, so now going to pound yen, and pound yen was in a very beautiful, perfect downtrend channel. You can see very nice. So with usual drop, small correction, drop, correction, drop, correction, drop, again a bit of consolidation, correction. So very, very nice. And finally it reached the one of the support levels. Here you see it's been here previously, so it did reach that, and of course now it's trying to turn around, and we also have that bottom and another bottom, and now that's one. So that gives an idea that it's going to turn around. So it's kind of finished the downtrend and it's turning around now. And also the, let's say the good point for that was that gap. So that's pointing out when the gap happened, that was a good opportunity for the market to come back and try to close that gap. So that's exactly what it did. So it did close it. So now, of course, with the view that it could possibly try to turn around now, but at the same time, as I'm saying, it could be either direction. It's just a waiting time now for again for any consolidations, and would be also possibly opportunities for placing the orders both directions at that point, because it is still in a downtrend. Well, was in a downtrend at this moment. Yes, it did break it, so it did come out from the downtrend channel, and give us a bit of the bells that you see it's changing, it's trying to now go up again. So, but at the same time, as I'm saying, could anything be, any news influenced by Japanese news or for pound news? So would wait here for any slowing down. Maybe it will create a channel, maybe it will create little triangle. So that would be where I would be looking for. So if it would create something around here, so either place buy order and expect it to continue, not of course in the 1 week, it's a 4-hour chart, so it's just possibility. Or if it creates something around here, continue go down and continue the downtrend. So that's how I see it. And just I'm saying for this week, what I would wait for is just to see what is it going to create. So we have that movement, and now, for example, anything, channel, triangle, anything. Maybe it will go down a little bit around this channel, around this level. So quite possibly it might consolidate around here, which also would be possible to place the orders, for example, to sell from that level a bit lower. And if it will go, for example, if it will go like that, maybe it will go like that, or maybe it will be a little bit more symmetric. For example, we'll go something like that. Depends. So what range is going to be between these two levels. So then it's possible, would be possibility to go for buy, right? So that's what at that moment. So if, for example, we can have that these two bottoms, So of course, if it is even if it's at that point, as I'm saying, it's quite hard to say. Is we had a gap here, and it's hard to. We have two bottoms, which shows us this one is higher, and there is no exactly a top. For example, I can draw something like that, right? So, and then that's the possibility. Yes, it's like changing the slowly direction going up. So again, you see, it might create something around here, and then would be looking again for possible to get down still, right? So if, for example, it will go down and break that, then possibly it will not go all the way to the next levels. It might be stopped by this level, right? So that would be kind of more for us a signal that it is looking like it's changing the direction. It's the now is going into the uptrend channel. So yes, it does look at this moment, but just waiting for any consolidations for creating any good pattern. So I can possibly leave that level, and let's just see. It's not it's symmetrical a little bit. You can see it could be a little bit even higher, but it's on a bigger chart. That's what I'm saying, because we had you can't see a gap right here, and yes, at that point, if you look, that top is higher than that one. So it's, yes, it might be just a false breakout, and then it's just continue, would go back and continue. That's why I'm saying that one is not really a good indication at that point, at this moment, because that is not understandable if it's the top or it's not. You see, so is it the top or it's not, because it needs a little bit more of candles here, a little bit more to see, look at that area. So I probably would remove this and just leave that is a reminder. Well, I'm going to remove that so it wouldn't be just too many levels. We have main picture. We need to just bear in mind all of these things, and if it will be time for any decisions what to do, then we would use, when the market, for example, will break and continue, then I would be using these two bottoms to see where possibly could stop. And of course, if it is going to continue, that went up, create something and continue up, so we still have that level. So this is where would be, for example, as I'm saying, maybe not one the same week, or depends how strong the news could be. Anything could happen. And so yes, well, we do have some, for example, one of the top could be stopped by that top, because we had actually bottom here, and you can see the top here was stopped around this area. So yes, if it will go, then need to bear in mind, for example, to see this top, where it could go. That top, for example, also fell. So that's why you need to really watch the market. If it will slow, will continue go up. So any of these points could be stopping points. So that's how I see pound yen. At that point, just need to wait for any consolidation, and then opportunity for placing the trades both directions. Okay, so that's it, guys. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe and like it, and I see you next week. Bye, everyone.